Hello and welcome to episode 69 of the Spotlight Games podcast. It's episode 69. We about to get raunchy. We about to get
Nice.
raunchy, brother.
Raunchy, brother.
Joining me as always is my sweet, and can I just emphasize sweet dumpster boy,
Thank you.
Cayman Darty. Cayman, how are you?
Patrick, I'm feeling a little raunchy.
Oh, you better, brother. Because
Brother.
we got someone with us. We got a special guest. Because it wouldn't be episode 69 without the mouth of the South. Liz McLean joining the show for the first time. If you're a listener, a watcher, a viewer, a fan of our little podcast universe we've created, you've seen her plenty of time over in the dumpster of Safe Trash Cinema. But it's time to bring her where it counts. And that's Spotlight Games episode 69. Liz, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm great, and please tell me you're being dead ass about this being 69 because this is so on brand for me.
Literally, This is episode 69. Last week,
Wow.
we made last week's episode 68.5 so that we could do 69 on
Wow,
Valentine's Day.
that is my brand. I'm forever and always the 69.
The fact that I didn't think to ask you well before 30 minutes before the show like I did, I'm pretty shocked. But hey, we're here, and that's all that matters.
Hey man, we're here.
We're here, and that's
we're
all
live.
that matters.
Mhm.
And we're here to talk about some video games because this is the Spotlight Games podcast where each week we talk about the latest and the greatest in the world of video games. You can get it by subscribing to our YouTube channel at Spotlight Games Pod or by searching for Spotlight Games in your favorite podcast app. And hey, you can be on the show by tuning in live as we record Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on twitch.tv/Spotlight Games Pod, like it is right now. So be sure to follow us over there on Twitch so that you're notified when we go live, so you can be part of the conversation. So you can come here and talk about the sexiest characters in video games and the sexiest games ever made, which is going to be the topic of the show today. So those of you that are going to be in the live chat, you're in for some raunch, but we're going to talk about a little bit of news too. We're going to get there. We're going to let the anticipation build. But Cayman, before we really get into the show, we got some housekeeping to talk about. We do a new episode of Spotlight TV out, episode 5, deep dive of The Last of Us, episode 5, Endure and Survive. That is out now on YouTube, which we're putting these on YouTube now, and on podcast services. But Cayman, is Valentine's Day?
It is.
It's a special day in the world of Safe Trash Cinema. Tell the folks at home about it.
Patrick, we are bringing the I would say, I think the love is in the air. Okay,
oh, sure.
I think the love is in the air. You know what else is in the air? The fucking 2000s, baby.
Yeah, they are.
They are. We're covering the 2001 holiday horror classic, which no one knows exists, Valentine, starring none other than David Boreanaz, that brooding and handsome hunk. It also stars Marley Shelton, who I think we talk at quite great length about how we need more of her in our life. And also, you get to see Denise Richards in a bikini.
Wow.
And we're joined by Nicholas, our friend Nicholas Sawalski, who
happens to be in the chat right now.
Hell yeah, brother. We're joined by Nick. It is a hilarious episode of just, well, you just have to listen. We say every week. Patrick, we
do.
Hey, this episode, you just got to hear to believe it. And this one, let me just tell you, there's some
not a lot
really bad jokes in this one.
Here's the thing, though. If anyone out there is like me and just hasn't had enough David Boreanaz in their life recently, maybe you're going to go rewatch Angel like I am. But just start with a little Valentine, 2001, with your favorite dumpster boy. Cayman, what do you think? What do you say about just jumping right into the show? Because it's going to be a jam-packed day. It's going to be a sensual day. But I want to know what we've been playing. I want to start with our special guest, Liz McLean. Liz, tell the folks at home, what have you been playing?
Actually, surprise to everyone, I have taken a break from Dead by Daylight. I have put in over 400 hours in the past 3 months, and I need a break, and I had to go outside and touch grass. So I did that for a minute.
Yeah.
But last night I played this new game. It's free on Steam, and I know it's crossplay.
Okay.
So I'm assuming if it's free on Steam, it might be free on console as well. But it's called Blood Hunt. It's the Vampire Masquerade Blood Hunt.
Oh yeah.
And you're like this little. It's a battle royale. You're a vampire. You can choose different characters, and they have all like different powers and stuff. And then you just roam through the streets of Prague and just wreak fucking havoc. And it
Let's
is
go.
a lot of fun. I played for like 2.5 hours last time. It's great.
Hell yeah. So you said it's a battle royale.
Yeah, it is.
Is it like
a smaller
solo?
one though.
Okay. What's the map size in terms of like people you're going against? Second question, are you going against like, is everyone a vampire?
Yes.
Okay.
I was playing trios last night, which is the most you can have. So I'm assuming if you can have trios, you can have duos, because my first game I played was kind of like a tutorial run for myself.
Got it.
And I played solo. But
Okay.
yeah, map size is not terribly big. It's big enough to where you're not spawning on top of each other.
Sure.
But it's really interesting. Like, I've played plenty of battle royale. I am unfortunately a Fortnite gamer.
Come on.
And
Fortnite's a great game.
it's great. And yeah, I like the twist on it. It's only like 30 people in there. At least when we were playing trios, there's only 10 teams of 3.
Sure.
So it's a little bit smaller scale compared to your 100. So it's nice. I
can get down with that. Question: is it similar to Fortnite in that there's just like one map? Like there's or are there multiple maps? Okay.
There is one map, and you do run around and like collect. You only have 2 guns and a melee.
Okay.
So like me personally, I like carrying around an LMG, an AR, and then just like a fire axe.
Yeah, come on.
But I forget to use my powers all the time, so I'm just out here raw dogging.
Speaking of raw dogging, I think now is a perfect time to bring up one of the sexiest characters from a video game, and that is Jeanette from Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, which is the game that Liz is playing has spurned off of. It's twins, Jeanette and Teresa, and Jeanette looks like Harley Quinn before fucking Harley Quinn made it to the big screen. And she looks like she walked off straight off of a fucking porno set. And let me tell you, that's one of the starting places for Cayman's adolescent puberty.
Whoa. Okay.
Okay, let's just be honest. This episode's gonna get real sexy, guys.
Wow.
I was gonna say FBI, hello.
Yeah, female body inspectors on the line.
Oh God.
It was it was right there, but I regret saying it. So there's powers in this game, you said.
Yeah. So I found that I liked playing the Warden, and like she's the newest character. And what I like too is you can customize all of your characters, and they have like male or female options. And the Warden's power is she can like chain people up, and then I have not figured out what the other one is. So like she's a little kinky.
Okay. And what does that do for you?
Much more than I can put in words, brother.
Let's go, brother.
First time I saw that she shoot them chains out, I was like, whipped cream everywhere.
That is a callback to a Save Trash Cinema episode. I forgot about
hold on one more time. Whipped cream everywhere.
There it is.
Yeah, beer crack.
There it is.
Well, look, it sounds like Cayman just sent me a picture of this character to my texts, and she has very large breasts. Cayman.
Okay, I'm looking. What's her name?
Yeah. Just send it to Liz too, Cayman. While you do that, Cayman, can you multitask? Can you tell us about what you've been playing?
I can, yeah. I just finished beating Dead Space.
There was a pause between beating I did not like.
This episode's getting sexier by the minute.
Already off the rails.
Well, we have Liz on the show. Of course, it's going to go off rails.
Everything changes. Yeah.
I just got the picture. Definitely smash. Continue. Dead Space.
Yes, just rolled credits on Dead Space. Patrick's already talked about it a little bit, and I know we're going to do a deep dive later, so I don't want to say too much, but I will say that like Dead Space is one of the greatest horror games ever made.
It's so good, dude.
It's so good. And while I don't think the game is perfect, it's one of those situations where I'm like, this is, I think, as close as you can get to perfection for Dead Space right now.
Yeah.
Now, I think that the door is open for a 10 out of 10 somewhere. I'm not sure, like, if it's possible, and that's something that Patrick and I have discussed off air before. Like, is it possible to turn a game like Dead Space into a 10? But I can say this is like a solid 9.5. Like, they just absolutely fucking crushed it.
Yeah.
And as much as I want a Dead Space 2, I'm also completely content with them just making a brand new Dead Space, because I
would
think that's the
love that.
thing. The thing I walked away from thinking the most was, I love this, but the beats, I know every story beat. I know this game like the back of my hand. And while there are things that are different, God damn it, I would love to see what they do with a brand new game.
Me
Like,
too.
even if their Dead Space 2 is just not even Dead Space 2, it's completely different. Like, I'm cool with that too. Like, I want to see what they can do in this universe, because this team knows what they're doing. And this game fucks, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I would really hope that they've earned the opportunity to go do a new Dead Space from this. Like, because while it would be cool to get Dead Space again, now that I've gotten the original Dead Space remade and it's incredible, I can just go play Dead Space 2 now. I don't need to like have you remake it in its entirety. If you do, I'll play it. I'll be great. I'll be happy. I'll be thrilled. But I would like to see them make some new shit with in Dead Space for sure.
I agree.
I get down with that. Anything else, or is it just the Dead Space vibe for you?
Just Dead Space 5 for me at the moment.
Yeah. I don't have a lot to report. I played a little bit more Persona 3. That's what I was playing last week, and I put like 2 or 3 more hours into it. I didn't do a lot of gaming this week, but I'm having a great time with Persona. Always love Persona, and I've never played 3 before, so I'm very much in, and I'm probably going to be talking about Persona 3 for a bit until whatever the next game is that I'm drawn into. But
I think Persona 3 has like one of the edgiest like summons when you summon your personas.
It sure does.
So fucking edgy, dude. And like, I don't know how the fuck they did that back when this game was released, what, in like early 2000s? I don't even know if it might even be earlier than that, like late 90s.
Yeah, let's see.
How
Persona
the fuck
3.
they pulled that shit off back in the day was wild.
Yeah, it was originally released in 2009. And Liz, are you familiar with Persona at all?
Nope.
So Persona it's a JRPG, Japanese as hell. You play as like a student in a school, and it's kind of like Pokemon adjacent, where you get these things called personas, and you like summon them in battle and they fight for you and things like that. But you don't go around like catching them like you do Pokemon.
Persona 3 was 2006.
Maybe. That's weird. On Google, it's saying Shin Megami Tensei maybe this is different. Persona 3 portable.
Oh, you're thinking of PSP. Yeah.
I see. It originally came out on what, PS2?
It originally came out on PlayStation 2.
I see.
They did release on the PSP what they call P3P, which is, it's a little bit different than the original game, but it's still very much the original game. It's just essentially like Persona 3 or Persona 4 Golden in terms of like how they kind of expanded it a little bit and they've changed some stuff up. But yeah, man, that game.
But so all of that little description, whenever you summon these personas in battle, your character shoots themselves in the head.
Yes.
It's really fucking weird.
They like shoot themselves in the head, in the persona, instead of it like being your brain shooting out, it's like the persona blows out the side of your head.
It's such a weird choice, and I don't.
So they're like, it's like, wow, time to battle, and instead of their brains flying out, it's just like a fucking like
badass,
just slow bro just crawling out. Wow.
Yes, exactly. It's really strange, but like I've gotten past that because it looks like a game that was released in 2006. Like it doesn't have the graphics have been updated a little bit, but it's not photorealistic to say the least. So it doesn't look like this high school.
I can get down with that still.
Yeah, but it very much, like, if you have ever played a Persona game for the audience, like, it very much feels like Persona. It's very story driven, very much like there's like a secondary aspect of the gameplay called social links, where you have all these like friends that they might be in your party that you're battling with, or you just meet them around like the campus or around the town that you live in, and you have free time, like when you're not battling, that you can spend time with them and like build up your relationship with them. And the stronger the relationship with them, the stronger your personas can be, like when you're actually battling. So it's very much like it's like a nice mesh between balancing battle type gameplay with like story driven, conversation driven type gameplay too. It's a cool series. If any of that sounds like your vibe, 3, 4, and 5 are out now on all major consoles and PC. So
nice.
I would say 4 is the best personally, but
okay.
I've not finished 3. But it's like Final Fantasy, where every entry totally different. Like they're not related at all, really. That's the report, folks, on what we've been playing. So what do we say we jump into a little bit of the news? Last week, we had a big old 40-minute Nintendo Direct, and we're going to talk about it. Before we jump in, so the way this will go, I'm just going to go through, we'll talk about basically everything that was announced. And we can, see what stood out to us, what worked, what didn't, that kind of thing. But I'm curious, at a high level, what did this, how would you guys kind of classify this Direct for you? Good, bad, left you wanting more?
Boo.
Boo?
Really?
Boo for you?
Boo. Man, listen, I watch Nintendo Directs every time they're out because, especially recently, because I might be spoiling my favorite part of it.
Hey,
big Zelda gal right here. Yeah. Huge. So I have just been anxiously waiting on more Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
Actual gameplay footage, more news.
Yeah.
Literally a fucking crumb, please. I need it. It just was very underwhelming to me. Like, it was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
Yay.
I guess specifically the Zelda trailer.
Really all of it. Like, I think that how they're bringing Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games is really cool. And I'm excited to see how they're going to expand on that, because I know on my Switch, I have the Nintendo Online or whatever, where I can play N64 games. So I've been going back through and playing Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time, like just classics that hit me right in the nostalgia part. So I'm really excited to see like what else they're going to bring to that. The games that they announced, I had to like played when I was a kid, but like I didn't really like care about as a kid.
Sure.
I think that my house will absolutely go nuts if they ever bring any Pokemon games, because Trevor, I will never see him again. So I hope that for him, because I know it'll make him happy.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet next announcement of like games coming to GBA or Game Boy Color is going to be the Pokemon ones, probably.
I think they would be stupid to not to.
Yeah.
But like,
Kamen, what about you?
I don't care about Splatoon 3.
Yeah,
nobody cares.
Nobody cares about Splatoon 3.
And I kind of have to like take my bias out of it, because a lot of these games I've personally never played and I really don't give a fuck about. But people care about anime games.
Sure.
I would classify it as anime games no one gives a fuck about, but a lot of people care about them. So if it makes them happy, I'm over the moon.
Yeah. Kamen, what about you?
I think the biggest announcement was the fact that We Love Katamari is coming out June 2nd. We Love Katamari reroll, which is not something we've never got. We got Katamari Damacy reroll, which you can now do the free trial of on Nintendo Switch for online members. However, We Love Katamari has never gotten a re-release. It's just been permanently stuck in hell. And so the fact that we're getting We Love Katamari, oh boy, that's with the Switch. I'm going to dust it off now. I say dust it off. I literally put in like 70 hours into Pokemon recently, but like I haven't picked it up since. But guess what? I'm about to, because We Love Katamari. I mean, look, I think for me, it doesn't affect me as much because I'm not a huge Zelda guy. But I think there's a lot of like they did have a lot of really cool stuff. I don't know. I think the other thing that I was like actually really excited about was Fantasy Life, The Girl Who Steals Time.
Okay. Like, that did look really cool, actually. Yeah. I forgot about it too. Just brought it up.
Yeah, like that's just like I dig. Like I think that's like the Nintendo Switch is just the perfect console for like slice of life games. And it's also like perfect for random shit like Katamari or JRPGs, which we're getting more. So I get, like, I think there was a lot of really cool stuff here. I do think that they also like nailed home a lot of stuff for like deep cut fans. Like we're getting Professor Layton again. We're getting like just random shit like fucking, what is it? More Fire Emblem stuff, which like is very much for like one set of people.
It's a big set of people though.
Yo, no, sure. Yeah. But like
I think they sold like 3 million copies of this newest Fire Emblem.
Which is good for those fans. I'm glad that they're getting something, but also all I needed to hear was them come out and say "We love Katamari" is coming, and that's you got me, baby.
You bring up a good point though. Like Terry in the chat, I thought this direct was a good one because it had something for almost every type of gamer, which I mean, every type of Nintendo gamer for sure. Like that, it did check a lot of boxes. But I kind of agree with you guys that like while it did check a lot of boxes, it didn't check a lot of my boxes.
Yep.
And that's okay. There'll be other directs that check my boxes more than other people's boxes. But the boxes that were checked, I feel like I am excited about what was shown. So let's jump into it. So like kind of the biggest ones that we got, Pikmin 4 trailer, not a Pikmin boy. I'm willing to give it a shot.
It's cute.
I forget. Yeah, it's cute. I forget, Cayman, are you a Pikmin fan?
You know, here's the thing with Pikmin. I always liked them, but I'm really bad at Pikmin games. So like it ends up with me just feeling like, wow, like I suck at this shit. But I definitely I really do think, Patrick, you should give Pikmin 4 a try. I think you might actually really enjoy it. Yeah. Because the Pikmin games have always been some of those games where I'm like, this always feels like a Patrick game.
Okay.
Like I could see you kicking back on the couch while watching TV, which is what you do on your Switch. Yeah. And I think you'd dig it.
You listen to me, Cayman. you listen. I know there's like, it's either Pikmin 3 or one of like the first Pikmin. There is a Pikmin that was put on Switch kind of recently. Maybe I'll give that a shot, but probably I should just wait for the new one because it'll be best. But we got, in theory, July 21st is the release date. That was an announcement from them. So it seems like a good time frame for that game to finally come out. As we already kind of mentioned a little bit, Splatoon 3 expansion pass was kind of shown a little bit more of. Big old snoozer for me. But
Resident Sleeper.
Yeah, right. But if you are into Splatoon, they're bringing back Inkopolis, which I guess is from the first game, and they also showed off another thing called Side Order, and it I guess the whole the cool thing is that there's not really color like there normally is, which come on, do better.
Quick question: Is it
who cares?
Did the first Splatoon game come out on? It was a Switch launch title, right?
Or was it Wii U? Let's see. Splatoon 1.
I think it was Wii U.
Yeah, Wii U.
Okay, never mind. Because I was about to be like, Jesus Christ, they just I know that people play these games.
Let's be honest, Wii U feels like a beta Switch.
Oh, absolutely,
100%.
Do I have one downstairs? Yeah.
You're one of the only people, myself included, that purchased a Wii U.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never gave in.
When they redid Zelda and the Wind Waker for the Wii U, I was like,
the amount of times College Patrick had his credit card, his very new credit card on GameStop.com about to buy The Legend of Zelda Wii U and never did. And I regret that a lot.
You should. And it was a terrible console.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so bad, but I got to play Zelda and the Wind Waker. So
that is true.
One of my faves.
Which disappointed we didn't see that, but we'll get to it. Advanced Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. This is a remake of Advanced Wars 1 and 2 that was supposed to come out several months ago, but then was delayed because, Russia fucking invaded Ukraine. And this company resides in Ukraine. But we have a release date now, April 21st. This is a game I might try if the reviews are really good, because I like the occasional strategy game. But if this is, I don't know the price off the top of my head. If this is a $60 game, probably not for me. Either of you into Advanced Wars?
No.
Yeah,
I know it's one of those games that nobody that I talk to really knows what the fuck is going on. Sure. But I think there's a big audience for it. I'm just happen to not be in that audience.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Nick in the chat, I hear Advanced Wars has a huge following actually, and I will be excited to play. Yeah, it's the original Advanced Wars came out years and years and years ago, and a lot of people say it's their favorite game of all time. So that's cool. I just never played it. We also, as we mentioned earlier, Nintendo Switch Online is getting the Game Boy and Game Boy Advanced games now, and these are the ones that you can get as of today on the Game Boy, which has different visual aesthetics for Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Pocket, which I thought was pretty cool. Launch lineup includes Tetris, Super Mario Land 2, 6 gold coins, The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening DX, Gargoyle's Quest, Game & Watch Gallery 3, Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare, Metroid 2, Return of Samus, Warrior Land 3, and Kirby's Dream Land. And then they teased that Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages and Seasons, the Pokemon trading card game, and Kirby Tilt and Tumble would be coming in the future to the service. And then on Game Boy Advance, we got Super Mario Bros. 3, WarioWare Inc. Mega Micro Games, Kuru Kuru Kuruin, Mario Kart Super Circuit, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, The Legend of Zelda The Minish Cap, and in the future, we're going to be getting games like Metroid Fusion, Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, Fire Emblem, F-Zero Maximum Velocity, and Golden Sun. The Legend of Zelda Minish Cap is like the highlight for me.
Yeah, it was great. When I saw it, I was like,
because I've never played it. I never played a Zelda game on any of the Game Boy systems. So
really?
I'm excited to finally get to play this and then eventually get to try out Oracle of Ages.
I feel like it was so long ago, I hardly remember it, but I know that like when it was showing those, because I was like, did I play that one? And there was like some little like when they're like blasting through everything and they're just showing like little snippets, there was like something that looked a little familiar to me. And I was like, maybe I have, I don't remember it, but I don't think that I have disliked a Zelda game except for Skyward Sword.
Sure.
Fair.
Not an uncommon opinion, that's for sure.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think I cared for Link's Awakening very much either, but
I never played Link's Awakening on the original Game Boy, but I did play like the remake on Switch.
The remake was dope.
Which was I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it enough to go play the original. That's
fair
fine for me. Yeah,
fair.
But I'm excited to play these other ones because I love Zelda. I wasn't smart enough as a kid to understand how to beat a Zelda game.
I was playing Zelda at like 4 years old with my Nintendo 64 with my grandmother at like 3 a.m, just being like,
that's amazing. My cousins had the Zelda games. We never had a Zelda game, but until Wind Waker on GameCube. And I would like when we were visiting them, I would be playing it, and I just be like, I just don't know what I'm supposed to do. Let's just play NFL Blitz.
Yeah, NFL Blitz, baby.
Yeah. We also, pretty big one actually, Metroid Prime Remastered was announced, and it was out that day. This is a game that's been rumored for a very, very long time, especially because its sequel, Metroid Prime 4, was rumored to be completely like development has started over as of a couple years ago because I guess the game wasn't good. But this is the one that originally came out on GameCube. A lot of people say this is the best Metroid in the franchise. Comes out or already came out as of last week. And if you want a physical version, that's going to be coming out on February 22nd. Curious if this did anything for either of you.
Nope.
I was really hoping this is the selfish side of me. I kind of wish that this was just like included in Nintendo Online too.
Yeah.
Because I would love to play this game, but I don't know that I want to pay $40 for it.
Yep.
Agreed.
Which like I'm glad that it's 40 and not 60. But
you know for a fact they're gonna re-release all of them.
Yeah.
At $40, you're gonna end up paying $120 by the time this is said and done. So a lot of people are coming out being like, "Oh, but they're releasing it for $40. That's really good." It's like, no, it's actually gonna cost you a shit ton of money by the time all this is said and done.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Nick in the chat, I bet we'll get a discount in the future. I bet we won't because it's Nintendo.
I guarantee you.
It is Nintendo.
I bet it'll like maybe it'll be $30 at some point. Which if it's $30, that is
a miracle.
It's only $10. But like my brain is like I would be more willing to spend 30. But I hope I'm wrong.
Like, here's $5 off.
Right.
Go nuts.
Right. It took. I saw right now you can get Breath of the Wild for $39.99, the cheapest it's ever been, and that game came out like 8 years ago.
What?
Oh my God.
Not really,
not
but like
that much.
Yeah, not
I think
8 years
it's 6
ago. But,
now.
yeah, but still, like, come on.
Yeah.
Really? This far in, and it's only $20 off. Anyway, and then speaking of Zelda, we got they closed it out with a new Tears of the Kingdom trailer. And then after the fact, confirmed that this will be the first game ever released on Switch for $70. And they reconfirmed a May 12th release date. Curious how you both feel about a $70 price tag for this game.
It's had me by the nuts for over 20 years. I'm going to pay for it.
Oh, I'm going to pay for it.
And Breath of the Wild is such a good game. I loved it. Even though the Switch has awful graphics, I still thought it looked great. Story's great. I like the open worldness of it. And I have been anxiously, my bones have been shaking for Breath of the Wild 2. And whenever the last Nintendo Direct, when they gave us a little teaser trailer and said May 12th, is it 12th or 13th?
12.
Okay. When they said May 12th, 2023, I was like, wow, that's actually not terribly far away. But good luck that actually releasing on the day that they first fucking announced it. Hilarious.
Right.
And then when I was watching this live last week and it still said May 12th, 2023, I was like, y'all are sticking to a day? Really?
I was pretty shocked by that. I
Me
was
too.
totally expecting them to say, and it's coming July 9th or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And I was like,
so
fuck. No, I'm so happy. But
I don't.
$70
Yeah,
sucks.
I mean,
Yeah.
like it's just the way that things are going right now. Like it was the eventual case was that Nintendo's going to start charging $70 for their AAA titles. Do I think it's worth it? I mean, sure. I don't. I mean, it's an extra $10, and I know that an extra $10 could be make or break for some people. Like I know financially, like that could be the case, and it does suck that that is, but like it was just a matter of time. Like it was just a matter of time. And
For sure.
I also don't think it's fair to justify saying that like the Switch can't charge that. Like I don't feel like that justifies that. Like it's not like sure, we don't have a Switch 2 out right now. But like I don't feel like that we can justly turn around and be like, no, because you're not the next gen version of whatever your console is going to be. You can't charge that. Like that,
Sure.
that doesn't make sense to me.
If the market deems that $70
Yeah.
is what we should be paying for a new game, the market deems it as such.
Exactly. So so I feel like that was like that argument's a little shitty. And like, I mean, sure it's a huge corporation. So like I don't really give them too much, but like also like we just kind of had like you just gotta get over it. I don't know what else to say. You just have to get over
Here's
it.
my thing though on it. Zelda, I'd pay $100 for the next Zelda. The
I'm
question then,
ashamed to admit that same.
the question then becomes, is Octopath Traveler 2? Well, that's coming out in like a week, so we would already know. Is whatever the next game from Nintendo after May 12th also going to be $70? Because what I won't pay $70 for is a lot of other Nintendo games. But
Yeah.
I'm not paying $70 for Pikmin 4. You can just kiss my
exactly.
ass.
Perfect example. That's the question for me.
Yeah, that's a really good point you make. I when it comes to it, like I don't know, maybe they charge 70 for Pikmin 4. Like that might be a reality, but like I don't think that other titles are gonna get bumped up to 70. Like I think Nintendo
weird,
is
though,
gonna be
isn't it?
You think
smart.
it's like they're heavy hitters?
Yeah, I think they're gonna paywall their biggest titles behind a $70 price tag. But also, then again, I could be very much, them being like, here it is.
Terry in the chat,
Everything
I'm wondering
is.
if the new price tag is to test the waters to see if they'll actually pull the trigger on new hardware. Example, Switch 2. Like if people are willing to pay for more games, would they be willing to pay for a new console too? Potentially. I think that it could be, but I feel like it's probably more so just the reality of the market and the reality of this supposed recession that is coming, that everyone keeps saying is coming, that doesn't seem to actually happen. It feels like the self-fulfilled prophecy at this point, that if everyone keeps saying it's going to happen, I guess it's going to happen eventually. But so like it probably is just that. It feels weird to me that when the next Assassin's Creed game comes out and would run circles from a graphical and performance standpoint compared to virtually anything on the Switch other than a new Zelda or a new Mario game, just feels a little odd that the price would
and you have new
that.
games that are coming out on like PS5 and like Xbox S and S or X and S or whatever, like, and on new consoles that are $60 base, but you can get like the advanced edition or whatever, all the special editions, and then it gets up there. But I feel like majority of the time, like where we are now, big games like this, like how much was God of War? Was it not 60 like everything else?
It was 70.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But so for the
quiet.
most part, for the most part, games on PlayStation and Xbox now are 70.
Yeah.
There are the occasional, like a couple weeks ago, if you don't have Game Pass, Hi-Fi Rush is only 30. Like there are the games that are the exception to the rule, but a new Madden, a new Call of Duty, a new X, Y, or Z is going to be $69.99. Not on Switch though. This is the first time that it's happening on Switch. So Yeah, I don't know. Nick in the chat, you can justify price point for PS5, but until the Switch upgrades, I feel like their games like Tears of the Kingdom deserve it. Yeah, I don't know.
agree.
I mean, I'm just super interested to see what Nintendo does after Zelda.
Like
And
what this is
Terry,
sprouting to grow.
and like, yeah, to Terry's point, like, and Cayman, this is one of your predictions for this year, another Switch. So like, maybe this is just a kind of a connective tissue for the next Switch, in which case a new console in my brain, of course, new console means 10 more bucks a game. Like that's kind of been the song and dance that we've seen most not every console generation, but a lot of them. But I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting change, but
Yeah, I didn't know
we'll
that.
see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Sure.
A lot of the rest of this we can kind of quick hit. Just jump in if you want to talk about any of these. Xenoblade Chronicles 3's next DLC wave, I'm falling asleep as I read it, will feature party member Masha and more on February 15th. Sega announced Samba de Amigo Party Central. It'll be released this summer. I did never heard of Samba de Amigo. That game looks like cocaine on like as a video game.
Yeah.
I love cocaine, so
Famously.
Really,
A game that didn't look like it was ready to be shown. Fashion Dreamer was announced to be launching later this year.
That game was ready to be shown. That
looked like a game that was made in approximately 14 minutes.
Yes, and that game will release looking just like that, I promise you.
Yeah.
But hey, there's an audience for it.
I hope so.
I mean, I don't know that they'd be showing it without an audience, but hey, all you fashion dreamers out there, your dreams are about to be dream on, babe. Dead Cells Return to Castlevania coming March 6th. Bithell Games' Tron Identity got an April release window. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective is coming to Nintendo Switch later this summer. An investigation-focused RPG, Deca Police, was announced by Level 5 with a 2023 release window. We saw another look at that Bayonetta Origins game. It's like an over-the-top, like very much not like a normal Bayonetta game. Disney Illusion Island got a gameplay overview and a July 28th release date. This game kind of looks cool to me.
That game to me screamed sponsored stream.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Like, hey guys, today we're going to be playing Disney whatever.
Yeah.
Hashtag ad.
Absolutely. The thing that looks
Nintendo.
cool. Yeah. The thing that looks cool about it to me is we just don't get a lot of couch co-op type games anymore.
Fair.
And it very much like it looks like have a couple buddies over, and does it excite me that I get to play as Mickey Mouse? Candidly, no. But just the actual like idea of like a 4-player co-op platformer sounds kind of fun.
Here's something that I noticed that I did not bring up with this Nintendo Direct. There was a bunch of games where they were talking about you can play like co-op locally, like house, and we're not taking this shit online, babe.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if Nintendo, my brain's going a million miles an hour, but in preparation for a possible Switch 2 or whatever next console, if they're kind of dialing back their online servers, because I don't know if you guys play Mario Party, and I definitely don't know if you guys play Mario Party online, but it is buggy. It like glitches out. People get kicked all the time. It is like bad. Like their servers for like online play is bad.
Yeah, it's awful.
So I'm almost wondering if they're dialing that back a little bit and being like, maybe you can play with your friends at your own house with your own controllers, and everyone has to come over old school style.
Very well could
online
be.
Shit.
I mean, if the next Switch has a heavy online component, they got to figure that shit out.
They gotta.
It has never worked well. Like GoldenEye, you can't play online.
Yeah, you can't. And it's the year of our Lord 2023, and there's no excuse for it. But Nintendo's always been kind of sneaky like that. Like I remember the uproar that was, I think, last summer or maybe even last spring when they pushed this update for the Switch, and they're like, "Hey, you'll have Bluetooth now." That's not something you push software; it's built in, and y'all just had it kill switched.
Yeah. They're insane. Nintendo's insane.
So I'm like, what? There's always ulterior motives.
For sure. For sure.
So now my conspiracy brain's going crazy.
Oh, for sure. r/conspiracy is going wild right now.
Yes.
Fire Emblem Engage got a bunch of expansion DLC stuff. This game called Harmony: The Fall of Reverie was announced, which actually looks pretty cool. I forget who's making it, but that game stuck out to me. Cayman, we had a question for you in the chat about Octopath Traveler 2 getting a new demo. Nick wanted to know if that's something that you've checked out.
I haven't played the demo yet, and honestly don't need to.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest.
It's a day one.
Yeah, I loved Octopath Traveler. Like, I don't need to play a demo. I'm fine. I know this game's going to hit for me.
For sure. As we talked about at the beginning, the Katamari Damacy reroll now has a free trial, and We Love Katamari reroll was announced to be coming on June 2. Sea of Stars is coming August 26th, and it has a demo coming out as of last week. That one actually looked pretty cool too. Omega Strikers was announced. Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection was announced June 1. It's like a bunch of different Etrian Odyssey games that you can buy together or separately. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe has a new epilogue, gets a demo today for all you Kirby fucks out there. Master Detective Archives Rain Code launches on June 30th. Monolith Soft RPG Baten Kaitos. Apparently this is like a big game that I'm just not familiar with. That is coming in the summer. Professor Layton's getting a new game. Mario Kart 8's getting some new shit. They're making a new Yoshi's Island course.
It's like wave 3 or 4 of the DLC that
four
they
of 8, I believe.
Yeah.
And there was I had this weird moment watching this that was like, wait, you couldn't play as Birdo before? Because they announced that you can play as Birdo.
And I am
now.
a Birdo gamer. Always have been. Love that. I love that queen.
Yeah.
Never been able to play as her. But here is one thing that we're failing to mention. I feel like this entire Nintendo Direct, a big chunk of it, this should have been Nintendo DLC Direct.
Sure.
Because Mario Kart 8 came out on the Wii U. And we are still fucking playing it to this day and we still have 4 more waves to go.
Yeah.
Of DLC.
And apparently they're all coming this year.
I'm like, would it be outlandish to maybe make a new one? Don't get me wrong. I love playing Mario Kart. I love any Mario Kart games. Loved them.
That's going to be
Have
the
we
big
thought
announcement.
about focusing our energy?
That's going to be the big announcement at the end of the year.
We've had Mario Kart 8 for fucking years.
I think Mario Kart 8 came out the day I was born. It's been out.
Oh, easy. Yeah.
And it's still a 10. It's still fucking great.
But it's like,
I agree. I'm ready. If you're making a whole new Yoshi's Island course. What if that was just
a new game?
The thesis of the next game?
What if you just
Mario Kart Yoshi's Island
made a new game?
Yeah.
Crazy.
You got me there. You don't have to convince me on that one.
I'm like, yeah, and it's obviously criminal that Birdo's just now in the game. She's
I could have sworn I had won entire CC levels.
She was in Mario Kart Double Dash. That was on the GameCube.
Okay. I was flying around Baby Park with her.
Oh man.
Back then for
it's
sure.
Like 16 laps. It's just like a quarter mile each. God damn that shit.
You know what I love about this is the fact that we keep we're referencing Birdo correctly. Birdo is like the first non-confirmed but confirmed trans character in a video game.
Yeah. Birdo. I mean, really, we should be calling Birdo Birdetta.
Honestly, we should be Queen.
Queen.
I mean, she is the queen, but
queen status. I love her.
And it was Super Mario 2, the manual. Birdo always never felt like him and wished that his name was Birdetta. And Nintendo never honored that after putting it in their own manual.
So we're dead naming her? Oh my God.
Think I'm not laughing at that.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I
mean, maybe talk to Shigeru Miyamoto.
I'll call him.
Slimy fuck.
I'll call him.